Hi, guys. So, I'm having communion with the Lord this morning. I always do in the mornings. I give Him my first fruits. I think that's really important. But that's not the reason for this video. I'm reading right now in Proverbs 20, and I literally am down to verse 4. I'm not even done yet. But I wanted to break in here and read this verse. And it's kind of difficult, some of the personal things here that I'm dealing with I don't even know how to say it tactfully, but lukewarm Christians, folks that I know personally who are lukewarm in their walk. And I grieve for them tremendously. I have a deep grief for them because I see a lot of lukewarmness in the churches and things that are around me. So it struck my spirit as I'm reading this, chapter 20 in Proverbs. And I get down here to verse 4, and it says, "The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing." And it just struck me because although that's true in the material, right, a lazy person will not go out and plow in the ground and because it's cold outside and they don't want to be cold and uncomfortable and so because of their behavior they don't want to go out and work in the field and plow up the corn and the beans and the potatoes or whatever. Therefore he shall beg in harvest and have nothing. So he'll actually be hungry in the harvest time because he won't go out and work. He won't plow up his own field, right? He won't go out. But the spiritual message that just pricked my heart, that the sluggard in spirit will not go out and work. They'll not go out off of their comfortable pews. They'll not go out, which I'm going to get into. I think I'm going to get into this, but they're not going to go out and work by reason of the inconvenience. They're not going to be inconvenienced. They want to be comfortable and they want to sit back. And then he shall beg in harvest and have nothing. But he shall, if there's a rapture, if there's truly a rapture, this sluggard who did not go out and work because they didn't want to be inconvenienced, he or she is going to be begging in the harvest. The harvest of the saints will be gone. If there's a rapture, the harvest, the first fruits, right? And this sluggard is going to beg and have nothing. And this reminds me of the parable of the 10 virgins. 5 were wise, they were ready, and 5 were not. They were foolish. They were not prepared. They didn't have their oil. Maybe they didn't want to go out and work and be inconvenienced. And they missed the supper. They missed the calling because they were out. They were begging. They were begging. In the time of harvest, they were begging for the merchants to sell them oil. And just like this proverb, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold, therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing. So he's going to lose. He's not going to have anything because he's out begging at the time of harvest, in the harvest season. When all the crops have been pulled up and harvested and canned and ready for the winter season, the cold, dark season, the dark winter, the sluggard in spirit, who did not go out and work. They sat on their comfortable church pews. Their spiritual sluggard did not go out and do anything. They wanted to just listen to the messages and not work and do anything, because they didn't want to be inconvenienced. They didn't want to say the hard things. They didn't want to hear the hard things. Therefore, shall, which that's a strong word, shall, means it will happen. Not maybe, not possibly, not hopefully, or not unfortunately. It shall happen. It will happen. Shall he beg in the harvest and have nothing? Now, I'm not going to get into what the Lord showed me yesterday. That's a different video for another day. But this right here just struck me as a warning for everybody that's not getting on board. They're not out plowing because they don't want to be inconvenienced. They don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to be by the reason of the cold. I mean, I'm on the farm, y'all. I'm on the farm. I've had horses since I was 11 years old. Now, I don't have any right now, but I did farm work. And I do farm work. Different species of animals. But when it comes to, you got to bust ice in the wintertime, and you got to get out there, and the ground's frozen, and your feet are stinging because they're cold, and the animals are running amok, and you're trying to get everything ready, and hay pulled down, and it's cold and uncomfortable, and my fingers are frozen and they hurt. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but we got to do it. I mean, the animals had to be fed, right? If you don't feed the animals, they're going to die. And if we're not out here plowing and working in this field for the Lord, because we don't want to be uncomfortable, we're going to miss this harvest time, and we're going to be begging. We shall be begging and have nothing. And I hope that this is helpful. I know this remnant is strong, is out doing all they can, but this is kind of a warning for the lukewarm. You know, if you've seen a couple of my recent messages about saying the hard things, you know, I said some hard things to some people. And the Lord blessed me afterwards. It was hard to do it, but the Lord blessed me. And I hope, Lord, that the Lord keeps his hand on his remnant. I know he will. But that the sluggards are not sluggering. You all have a blessed day in Jesus' name.